Hello lovely viewers, welcome to another episode of the Free Medics. Today we will be discussing the foundations of how to use and read an ECG, so please like, comment and subscribe for the advanced video. We are basically walking circuits. Electricity flows through our veins like 4. You just need to learn how to summon it. Ha, just kidding. But in all seriousness, there are actually electrical impulses in our bodies, which are waves of depolarization that can be picked up by sticking electrodes on you. You can get the voltage change by measuring the change in the current, because physics. There are 2 types of deflection, positive or upwards if the electrical impulse travels towards the electrode, and yes, you guessed it, negative or downwards if the impulse travels away from the electrode. There are 6 chest leads and 4 limb leads. The chest leads are labelled V1 to V6 and are placed as follows. V1, 4th intercostal space, right sternal angle. V2, 4th intercostal space, left sternal angle. V3, halfway between V2 and V4. V4, over the apex of the heart, 5th intercostal space, mid-clavicular line. V5, same level as V4, anterior axillary line. V6, same level as V4, mid-axillary line. The limb leads, as the name suggests, are placed on each limb. The red goes to the right arm, yellow to the left arm, green to the left leg, and black to the right leg, though this one is just a dummy to provide a control. The limb leads are coronal plane leads, with 1, 2, and 3 being bipolar, and AVL, AVR, and AVF being unipolar. V1 to V6 are known as being transverse plane leads and provide information about the horizontal plane of the heart. Together, these leads can provide an overall comprehensive view of the entire heart. The graphs produced show how depolarization is occurring in various regions of the heart. The QRS Axis tells you the net overall direction of the heart's electrical activity. Why do we care about this, you ask? You might want to consider the possibility of ventricular or structural abnormality, or hemiblocks if the axis is atypical. Here is a picture of the axis on the heart. No idea why quadrant 1 is negative. But hey, even the heart is lopsided, so who knows? Normal is negative 30 degrees to positive 90 degrees. Left axis deviation is negative 30 degrees to negative 90 degrees. Right axis deviation is positive 90 degrees to positive 180 degrees. Why is the normal QRS axis skewed? As you can hopefully remember, the left heart is more muscular, which also means that there are more cardiac muscles in the left ventricle. Therefore, more electrical impulse is needed to contract the left ventricle. As we have already discussed, different limb leads view the electrical impulses of the heart from different angles. This is why different waves will be smaller or larger on different leads. For example, limb lead 2 is closest to the normal QRS axis as it is facing positive 60 degrees, so will show the tallest QRS complexes in a healthy individual. You do not need to memorize the angles that the different leads show, but it is useful to know limb leads 1, 2, and 3, because they will be used in the next section of this video and in clinical practice. Limb lead 1 is horizontal at 0 degrees, and limb lead 3 is within the right axis deviation segment at 120 degrees. To tie things all together, here is how you use leads 1, 2, and 3 to calculate the axis. Looking at lead 1, if the QRS complex is pointing up, it is either normal or left axis deviation, and if it is pointing down, it is right axis deviation. Looking at lead 2, if the QRS complex is pointing up, it is normal, and if it is pointing down, it is left axis deviation. You cannot tell if it has a right axis deviation by looking at lead 2. Looking at lead 3, if the QRS complex is pointing down, it is left axis deviation, and if it is pointing up, it is right axis deviation. There is no telling if it is normal by looking at lead 3 alone. Now let's take a second to absorb all this information. Now on to the fun part of this video, but first we need to discuss normal conduction again. In the ventricles, conduction begins in the fibers of the left bundle branch and spreads across the septum to the right. This causes a small R wave in V1 and a small Q wave in V6. The left ventricle contributes most, causing a deep S wave in V1 and a tall R wave in V6. But things can go wrong. In the case of right bundle branch block, the right ventricle depolarizes late. This is an embarrassment to the heart as it distorts the impulse recorded in V1, causing an M shape, and a small R wave. But it gets even worse. The left bundle branch can also become blocked, which is once again an embarrassment to the SAN and all its hard work. In this case, a W pattern is seen in V1 due to negative deflection. That concludes the video today. If you want to see more, potentially slightly better than mediocre content, please like, subscribe, and comment down below.